move on to another topic. This one is affecting the men, the women, the grandpas, the
children,
grandmas, the nurses, the teachers, the doctors, everybody. I'm talking about
dollar.
Yes. Let's talk about the economy, guys. The pressure is getting worse. We know that we have so many issues when it comes to our fiscal space as a country. Inflation keeps on skyrocketing. The city depreciation is something that is worrying business owners, the citizenry as a whole. We were told that, e-levy was going to come in and solve all our problems. Have we run out of ideas? Kalybos, what is going on? The men are in charge.
The men actually supported the NPP.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
So what is your stance now?
To my point of view and why I supported an MPP, if coming from my side, from an Ashanti home, when you become, I don't want to use those words, the breadwinner, let me just put it, for lack of words, there's a lot of responsibilities. Because I had to get my uncles and stuff supporting me through university and all that. So when you're to come out and successful, you tend to have 10 times of those burden on you.
Yeah.
And for a long stretch of time, I couldn't save that much because always I have to keep on paying fees. And these fees goes out to, those entering into the secondary schools, the primary schools and all that. So to me, my aim or my whole idea of supporting, I supported the policy of free education. That's what made me come into it. Because trust me, ever since that policy was implemented, I could actually save and make use of the money.
Okay.
That was my point of view.
Yeah.
I didn't go in for any other campaign or any other reason. So when that was implemented, I mean, I had to be selfish for once because now I can save something and also get onto it. But then, talking about the economy now, it's crazy how things are going. This is not the Ghana we know. This is not the happy living citizens that you wake up, go to work, come back, there's something in your pocket. But now,
but isn't that a general? But isn't that a general thing? This is not the world we know. I don't think it's specific necessarily.
It's general,
to
but
Ghana.
What makes it worse is when something is general and yours is like on top of that. You just can't.
You think ours is like
ours is just out of the bloom, and the citizens in it is not even helping with that. We all know there's hardship. We all know the inflation is crazy and all that. But how come normal citizens be complaining about this and be aiding to make the economy hard? Let me put up an example. There's this shop that I buy groceries from when I'm going home. And I love this particular, I won't mention the brand, a drink that I buy for 15 cedis. So when the last dollar went up, which was 13 cedis, Jesus. I went there, and now from 15, the lady is selling it for 35 cedis.
Eh?
Yes.
Ah.
I had to call in for the lady to speak to that. Maybe they had a mistake writing the amount, but that's what they're selling it for. And these things are always in stock. It's not that within that week or within that 2 days that the inflation went up and then the dollar you went to buy new things. These are things that's already in stock. So how then do you inflate prices on these things that you get what I mean? Yeah. So we are also not helping the economy so much with our individual, personal, selfish gains.
Yeah.
You get it. I mean, it's tough, but then we should all work hand in hand to make the economy better for us.
Yeah, to buttress that point, actually, this whole idea of being, your neighbor's keeper is something that, as you're saying, we don't necessarily have that culture within this particular society, maybe worldwide, but I'm speaking now because this is where I live. I remember when COVID hit, and literally sanitizers, face masks, gloves, everybody was selling them at least 1,000% more than what it was supposed to be. And then you ask yourself, okay, are you really thinking about your fellow person who maybe actually has somebody who's in the hospital that's going through COVID? Because I went through a relative being in COVID. In fact, I lost somebody to COVID. And all the money that we had to pay was 100%, 300% doubled. And nobody cared. In that moment when we were supposed to bind together and say, you know what, we're all going through this together, we actually wanted to use it to our individual benefit.
I quite remember.
And it's so sad.
There was this, I don't know if I'm allowed to mention, Core FX. It was an immune booster thing that people were supposed to take in to keep their immune system strong and all that. All of a sudden, it shoot up to like 500% when they were selling it. This thing they sell for 50, I think 80. Now they were selling it for 300, 350. You get it? So it's become a norm that the normal Ghanaian is waiting to capitalize on certain hardship, then they can make profit for themselves.
I have a dissenting view, guys.
Really?
Listen, there is truth to what you're saying. But for me, everything rises and falls on leadership. There are many jurisdictions where people would love to do whatever they want to do. People, listen, some people would love not to, we would all love to not pay taxes, for example. That's why taxes are enforced and there's somebody to enforce that. So if leadership is really awake, there are things for people and institutions that check rent control. You're supposed to have people checking price control. Otherwise, things go haywire. For me, the buck stops with leadership.
I agree
But
with
then
that.
what do we see? What do we
agree
see?
with
What do we see leaders do in times of crisis? This particular economy, Esika, you mentioned that, of course, it's global, and it is global. The world is reeling.
Yes.
But for us, we were already on the edge before we were tipped over. We were on the edge before we were tipped over. And I see when you look up to leadership and you see the ways in which there have been wastages, the spending has not been prudent. There have been inefficiencies. Regulation, it's like everybody do what they want. I can't blame the citizenry entirely. We're looking to leadership, to do enforcement, and also to provide the right example.
I don't think we're blaming the citizens entirely.
They can do it all.
Yes.
For sure.
But they're not
the
doing
leaders
enough.
are there to enforce certain rules and set up certain,
But they can't be
authorities
everywhere.
to make
And
this
you see that
run.
that
But
is
then
But they're not there enough for me.
exactly.
Okay.
So
For
if they
me.
are not there enough for you, that doesn't also give you the right to inflate certain
Not
things. on
at all,
yourself.
not at all. But where we find ourselves is not because Konimo just wants to put 20 CDs or 30 CDs on their products. That is not why we find ourselves
People
here.
are honestly robbing people.
They are, and I've seen
with
things
their
happen.
eyes open like this and
Exactly.
not thinking about how it's going to affect
Yeah.
us.
So if there are regulations to say, let's say, for the bottle of drink that I bought 15 CDs, and now things have shot up. If there are regulations to say, okay, this is the margin or the duration of amounts you can put on top, add 5 CD. But they wouldn't do that. Now they were selling it times 2 of the amount.
Yeah. Something has to be done about that.
You
For
know-
sure. Listen, you get, for example, during COVID, there was somebody who was going around claiming that he was from a hospital and he was taking spit samples and giving fake results. Or sure, wow, we are positive, we are negative. He had no business doing that. So you had people who were corona entrepreneurs. These things are happening, and I don't hold brief for anybody that is being really greedy at this time. But for me, there are so many systemic failures that have allowed.
But you know,
I
after all
agree.
is said and done, ladies, Kalybos, what can we do?
Yeah.
You know, we keep talking about the issues.
Never
I mean,
find
the
the
moment
solutions to
cement
it.
prices shoot up, you realize that, landlords are also, meanwhile, and I see 1960. Meanwhile, what's in cement is shooting up. What can we do? Because I don't get it.
Direct rapper. When you have to ask them to fix it,
This, you know,
They won't.
But what can we do at this point? Because it just doesn't make sense.
at this point,
can we do?
I
You know,
think
it's-
for a country to move on, there should be rules and regulations.
Thank you.
And
There
for these
are,
rules
do
and
we-
regulations to work, there should be systematic, authorities to enforce these things. If they are not there, the citizens will pick up to do whatever they like.
I mean,
And that's
listen,
what
let me
will
give you
happen.
an example. State-owned enterprises, you and I, our taxes, we pay the CEOs in charge of state-owned enterprises. Now, for some of them, even telling us how they've performed, annual reports,
We don't receive.
we don't receive it. So even from the top, that lackadaisical attitude, lack of accountability, it trickles down. If the CEO of a state-owned enterprise will not even file their reports for me to see how they are faring, on an individual level, let me also be cantankerous. Clearly, there's no sanction
Let me
and
be
no
what?
punishment.
Cantankerous.
That is our motto for
It's
this
from
episode.
Let
Kantanka
me be
Dictionary.
cantankerous. You can't cantankerous me.
Cantanker me. As Kalybos says, it's from the Kantanka dictionary.
But you know, other people too have come up with suggestions that we should get into agric. Recently, through business, they had their agribusiness forum, and it was very, very, very insightful. Loads of very thought-provoking conversations on how we are throwing agric, somewhere else and thinking that it is not, good enough. But what do you think? I mean, John Dumelo is doing it, and then it's
exactly,
it's working.
I tend to invest in one bit of his livestock. That's the pig farming.
Oh.
We started somewhere 3 years back. Yes.
Is it good?
Very, very.
Wow.
Every year, the profit I get, again, that's business alone. It's something I can also,
Hey, hi,
use
dear.
Yeah.
Hello.
And he's
dear.
Helen, you don't cross me.
don't can't cross me.
Okay.
So I think with our great bit of it, it takes a lot. It takes a lot because John, I don't know if I'm to just let the cat out of the cage.
Oh,
But
no,
anyway, it's
tell
fine.
us.
Because,
It's a safe
No,
space here.
Kalybos, I've always been interested in agric, ginger, rice farming, just name it.
It
Just let us know
looks
so that
nice on paper,
Let us know
from
so
afar,
that-
but it's very stressful, trust me.
Yes.
John, that I know John to be a stout guy. You see our phone,
Why is
get up and
Why
down.
you-
Because the moment you don't put yourself in the farmer's shoes, that's it, you're doomed. They do it for themselves. So you have to be there, grow with them, sow with them, do this with them, and all that. So it's time consuming. So
Yeah.
if one wants to, endeavor into that business, then it has to be like a full-time thing that you have to do.
Yes, and mentally, physically, you have to tune your mind to the fact that it's not easy.
Yeah.
It doesn't come easy. It requires a lot of work, a lot of studying, a lot of understanding what the
Exactly.
processes of farming is. And I don't know if the youth of today are ready to put in that effort, but
I'm ready.
that is a conversation for another episode. There is so much we have in store. We've just scratched the surface. I'm sure you're enjoying the conversation, and we have so much more coming to you after the break.
Ellen, it's not like Kalybos' favorite song.
Yes.
That's
yes.
Kalybos' favorite song, and it's DJ Veroski featuring
Yeah.
Sugar Daddy,
Yes.
and Kaminda.
Yeah. What's he's giving us sugar daddy vibes today?
Yeah, but then,
Mine's all right.
Yeah.
you said daddy, but I can't sugar. No. Okay. You have a lot of sugar.
Diabetes.
Okay. So, Sika, it's time for the game.
It is time for the games. This is, the segment that people love a lot.
But wait, I see a table, I see spoons, there's a
Oh,
cup.
don't
Where's
worry.
the food?
Don't. Oh, no. It's not about food today. Guys, why are we always talking about food?
I know.
Why?
Table tennis.
I don't know.
Yes, because I see the ping ball, right?
Yes.
And there's a table.
Well, close enough. It's actually a game we call One a Spoon. And it's all about, putting a table tennis or a ping pong ball on a spoon. We're going to put that in our mouth. Ooh. And yes, thank you so much, Anita. And the twist to it is that whilst you have the ping pong ball on the spoon in your mouth, you have to flip this bottle until it lands just like that.
Mary.
Why?
Mary, but me sure.
No, don't count yourselves out just this quickly, Well, as usual, we have the winning team on this side.
Oh, really?
Team win right here.
Forget it. This is the
Sika.
Kalini time.
Give them.
Yare.
And this is the Kantan cross side right here. Okay, we're energized and ready to play against Kalybos and Anita. Of course, we have 40 seconds. Each team has 40 seconds to get as many bottles like this on the table whilst you flip it, whilst you have a spoon and a ping pong ball in your mouth. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
It's very simple. It's very simple. Wait, dexterity, Your mind-hand coordination,
That's
it has
it.
to be.
Canton cross.
That's right.
Thank you.
Vim, let's go, Helen. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Take your time. You can do it, Helen. You can do it. Take your time. Helen, flip. It's a flip of the wrist. Jesus Christ, on the wrist.
Go. Thank you. Open.
Flip of the
Again.
wrist. Flip. Yo. Oh, you're out. Yeah. Carry. Yeah. Hello. Take over. You can do this.
You go. See, Six, you can do this. Sika, you can do this. Hey! Ajay! Pascal. Come on, Sika. Come on, see. Come on, see.
Last one. You are there. Last
more black,
one.
more black, more black. I say, hello, dear. That's why you are not making it.
Anita, can we have
Hey, hello! Hey! Sika, let me take over. Let me go. Let's go. Go.
Hey! Oh yeah! 3 or 4.
1!
Hey!
Did you see it?
Totally
You didn't see it.
Match commissioner, can we have the results?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Agbena!
Yes.
Director says P.
Thank you.
5-0.
We have been doing this for 35 years now.
Can you bring us more bottles?
More balls.
We're
More
going to
balls
be
and
gracious
bottles.
losers and give this to, what is the team name?
Scott Team Kalinira. Don't
Team
Kantan cross us.
Kalinida. You know,
We
today
have
was
Kantan
your
cross
day.
No, it's
We
always been our day.
concede, but it's because we have malaria. That's why we couldn't make it.
You know something? This is the most difficult game we've done on the show. And for us to win flawlessly,
Yes, I like that word.
you are thereby suspended from the Ladies Circle for the next 3 episodes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, your souvenir.
Round of applause though
Your
for
souvenirs.
Team Kalinida because my idea. Thank you.
You don't need
Thank
to
you.
cry here, okay?
Yeah?
Okay.
See, Kalybos,
Me debate
at this point, you and I are running the show. So take us on a quick commercial break. Show them.
Yes,
something.
so
That is your camera.
it's not easy to
Yeah.
to lose on national television, which our sisters here, Helen and Sika, have just exhibited for us to see. So we are sorry. TV3 will compensate you. Don't worry. We'll go for a quick commercial break. We're back. You already know the need.
Yeah.
The winners.
Yeah.
Team Kalinita.
Yeah.
Don't look me like zombie. Don't play with me. I know be ludu or chobi. Don't
Gloria. Which is often.
Welcome back, and this to the Ladies Circle. Well, if you just joined us, you missed, all the juice that had to do with two ladies losing. And so I want to use my Cratchit powers to put some sanctions on them. But, Kalybos says I should take it easy on them. But let me say a big thank you to our amazing sponsors. Amazing. Tiaz, GTP, Udin, Vodafone Cash, Onga, Vita, and Tasty Tom. Now let me hand over to the half of the losing team so that we do some guilty, not guilty. You get it.
Whatever. Listen, I'm not a sore loser. I
You
will
are,
have
darling.
another opportunity to redeem myself. There's a Chinese proverb that says, fall 7 times, stand up 8.
This is how I thought you was going to say it in Chinese, but if you can say it in Chinese.
Ni hao. On that note, let's get into that part of the show that we all love so much. It is Guilty, Not Guilty. And you at home, if you don't have your Guilty, Not Guilty plug, what are you waiting for? Do find some type of system so we can all play here in the studio and also at home. Kalybos, Guilty,
Okay.
Not Guilty. Are you ready?
I'm not guilty.
I have a
showing
feeling
guilty.
you might be a little bit guilty, but we have a few questions to ask, and we're all going to be very truthful because this is a safe what? Space. Let's get
Okay.
into it. It is Guilty, Not Guilty. The first question is, all of us here, have you ever found a man less masculine because he shed tears?
Not guilty, darling.
Definitely. In school, when I was, as a school child, for sure. You think, why is that small boy crying? They say boys don't cry. Definitely. As a
But
child.
not as an adult.
Not as an adult.
We sympathize, we want you guys
But
to
as
be
a child,
vulnerable.
yes, very much so. Why is that small boy crying? Anyways, second question is, have you ever been attracted to somebody the public deemed a bad boy?
Bad boy, come to me. Ooh, bad.
I mean, in your case,
Bad boy. It's a song, Bad boy, hey. Bad boy. Hey. Give it to me now. Bad boy.
Check it.
Shatta Bundle is not that bad.
Kalybos, are you guilty?
Very guilty.
Now bad boy, Ben.
No,
bad girl.
Bad girl. Okay, we'll take it like that.
Are you gonna tell us who?
Nope.
All right, another question here. Have you ever trolled a politician in his tough time on social media?
I don't have the guts.
Not guilty.
We don't do politics.
I've shared a thought or two, but I wasn't trolling. I was only expressing a few sentiments.
That one is good. You don't need to troll.
At all. You know, like I always say, I'm a healthy, balanced, happy individual. What's the point? Last question here. Has the current economic hardship reduced, and you guys, please don't mention my name, reduced your regular Friday night chilling? Guilty.
I didn't even have any chilling. Not guilty, because I'm in chilling, you know.
Kalybos, are you guilty or not guilty?
We chill at the time, please.
Yeah,
But you are saying that the economic hardship has reduced your Friday night chilling. Guilty or not
Yes,
guilty?
yes.
It does, yes.
It has.
Yeah.
But I mean, you still get it in.
Yeah,
What's
I mean,
your
once in a while.
ideal Friday night chilling situation?
Well, not too crowded.
Okay.
You know, even if it is, find some cool spots, you know. Be there, observe what's going on, and go and sleep at 5 a.m.
Who's around you? Who's around you?
Well,
I know.
you might have James Gardner. Coming through late.
Constant.
KOD. Giovanni just coming out and say, Charlie, guys, I forgot more radio show. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But regular guys.
Nice.
Call us on the next one so we can chill with you guys. So
We
we
have
can
to change this and to make it like boys circle.
The boys
Why
circle.
not? Boys square. Boys square.
Yeah.
All right, but guys, thank you for being honest. This has been guilty, not guilty.
But of course, Kalybos, you know, for winning and for coming on the show as well.
We need
Oh.
the
Yeah, forget about
Wow.
them. This is coming from me
Oh,
to
wow.
you.
Just from
Yes,
you.
yes, says Kalybos. I should specially give this to you. I say I no probably have a breakfast kakra. Ubesi unema kakra. You brush your teeth. You know, you need some tissues. Into Yaz tissues. Oh, Kalybos, this is from me on behalf of Yaz.
Wow.
To you. Forget about the other two. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, yes. Thank you, ladies.
Yeah.
And guess what I'm going to do?
What are you going to do?
Remember that provision store I spoke about?
I'm going to go and flex them.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll go there
You don't
and say,
need them.
I'm buy your things
You
again.
buy it
I got
anymore.
all of this from my sector. Thank you so much.
Kalybos, let
thank
me
you,
help you
Kalybos.
with this here.
Through.
Before you go, any last projects you would like to tell? I think this is blocking your handsome
Yeah.
face. Any
Yes,
last
let's keep
projects
stuff.
you would like to tell our audience that you're working on, or any words of wisdom? Because you know you're
Right.
so filled, you know, with wisdom.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome, darling.
That's one reason why we won the game anyway. Anyway, so yes, with work, we never cease to stop working. So there are a lot of things in the pipeline. Myself and our Patri coming together with a series with some people. So yeah, that's on the low with that. And a piece of advice, really, at this time.
Please look at the audience and tell them.
Just save any little amount you have. Just save and make sure you convert it into dollars. You know, you never know.
You
At the
never
end of the
know.
year, maybe looking at 20 CDs. You know, and you have a lot of money.
But
Listen,
on the
buckle
real.
up. But
Yeah.
Kalybos, it's been amazing having
Thank
you
you so
here with
much.
us. We're so grateful you could stop by. Next time, don't be a stranger. We enjoyed you.
And next time, if
Wow.
they're coming to use you to surprise us, give us hints.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're all
How
friends.
was you were touching my head.
But thank you again to you at home for tuning in like you always do. This has been the Lady Circle. We're back again, of course, next week, same time, same place. Mwah, mwah, mwah. See you then.